Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. This is Kevin Hunting, and this is Ask the Coach. I am a life and leadership coach, and the name of my practice is called Two Steps Forward Coaching. So if you haven't found me on Facebook, you can always just type in Two Steps Forward Coaching and like my page. There's a lot of great content. So today I have, it's basically about explaining, and you get to ask the coach anything. It can be any question, anything that you might be curious about when it comes to a life and leadership coach. And specifically, I am a core energy coach. So that might be something that piques your interest as well. So before this, I did actually reach out to some people and have got some really, really great questions that I want to be able to answer. And one of the first questions that someone asked, and this is thank you, Ruth, for sharing this. One of the questions that I was asked is, what can you expect from working with a coach? And this is a hard question to answer because in the end, it's really about how much you are putting into it in terms of the relationship that I would establish with the client. Is what you're going to get out of it. And those are my two dogs barking in the background. I'm sure you can hear them because someone's at the front door. So let me just give the two crazies a minute to calm the hell down. So give me one sec. So anyway, back to it. What can you expect from working with a coach? Working with a coach is a very dynamic relationship that is going to happen over time. And it's one that should be entered into with mutual trust and respect. And yeah, they're still barking. So sorry, I'm being distracted. So just give me a minute. So yeah, it's one, first off, the relationship is based on mutual trust and respect. And what happens is typically there will be a discovery session or just a first conversation that needs to happen where it's really about feeling each other out. And so the idea is that you're getting to know me as an individual, my personality, my style, how I approach coaching and answer your questions. And then more importantly, I'm also, as the coach, able to really assess what is it that you're looking for? Like, what is it the need or the challenge that you may have that you want to go after currently in your life? And then secondly, is this the right time? A lot of times people think that you just get a coach, I think, and that the coach is going to actually direct you and tell you that this is what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. But really the relationship is that I come from the perspective that you already have all of the answers within you. And so my job is to help you get very, very clear about that. And so that is one of the things that I think is a big aha for people who may be interested in a coach is they find out that they're like, wow, I was expecting someone to really direct me and give me a plan and tell me that I need to do X, Y, and Z. But that is not, that's typically not the most effective way to get the results that you're looking for as the client. And so it is a powerful dynamic relationship of me helping to guide the client through a series of self-reflective and deep kind of profound types of questions over time that help someone discover what is perhaps stopping you from going after what it is that you want in your life. That could be related to a job. It might be related to your overall health and wellness, obviously your career and your professional growth. And so that's over in a nutshell. That is basically what that relationship looks like. But the main point here is that the client, you would be responsible for really coming up with any action plans or items that you would want to address. It's based on what is right for you. And I don't know what's right for you. That's why the beauty of this relationship is that I am there to help bring that out. But you are the one that's actually making those decisions for yourself in terms of what is it that's going to be best for me in terms of moving forward and taking action. Because a lot of times what the research shows is that if someone's telling you what to do, 9 times out of 10, it never really actually happens. You never actually start doing those things that you say you're going to do because you were never fully bought in to it in the first place. So that's just one thing that I wanted to share. And then the second piece that a second question that someone had is, I feel that if you're lacking confidence in many different areas of your life, how will working with a coach help you build confidence? And that's a really, really great question, because confidence is something that's pretty complex. And first off, it's really my approach would be is helping someone understand how they define confidence, because obviously anything is very deeply personalized in terms of our experiences. So if someone says, first off, that a client would say, I just don't feel confident, um, you would I would be digging deeper to understand through some powerful questions, to discover with the client for themselves, what specifically do you mean when you say that you don't have confidence? Really, under what circumstances, under what type of nuances actually are taking place when you lack confidence, but then also helping the client to discover, under what conditions are you typically confident, and where does your confidence really shine? So it's confidence is a unique thing, because again, it's very personal. And so as a coach, I would be able to help you discern what might be stopping or blocking you in terms of whatever courage that you would need to step through to build the confidence that you need. And that's the other key piece when it comes to confidence, is that really the only way to build confidence is by stepping into fear. And so it's totally normal. We are wired not to do that. So many of us were brought up, and so many of us don't have a certain lens or a way of looking at it's okay to step into the fear of what you're afraid of in terms of going after what you want. And so a lot of people end up just staying in the same place. But there's a cost to that, right? When you think about, if I'm going to stay in the same place and I'm doing the same thing for the next 2, 3, 4 years, at what cost is that to you in terms of what it is that you want out of life? And again, any area of life. It could be growing in your career, having a loving, healthy relationship with another individual, maybe mending broken relationships with family members. So again, that idea of confidence is really about how are you stepping into discomfort, but first understanding what's behind what makes you uncomfortable. Why does it make you uncomfortable? And nine times out of 10, what will be discovered is that it might be something that you believed about yourself to be true, that once you start to really peel things back, you discover that there's really no evidence to support what you believe. It's just a belief. And that means that belief can then be, a new belief can be created. And so that is the power of coaching, is helping someone, not tell them to take on a new belief, help them come up with what would be the right new belief for them that would allow them to step into whatever is blocking them. So that's to answer that question. The third question I received from someone, and if you have any questions out there about coaching, please, by all means, you can type in the comments if you have a question. I would love to answer your question. So this can be very interactive if you choose to. So another quick question is, this is a really good one. Someone asked, how do I choose the right coach for me? And I'm going to tell you that this is probably my answer immediately to you would be, you need to trust your instincts and your gut when you are having a conversation with any coach. There are so many schools out there in terms of training for coaches, and so it's really the person, I think, and their overall capabilities and how you are responding to that individual when you have that initial conversation is what's really important, and that you should trust your instinct, which sometimes, again, we're taught not to. If you're a very logical, rational individual who likes data and science to make your decisions in life, there's a cost to that as well by not listening to your heart or your instinct. And so instinct to me is what is key, that you as the client, you would only know that I'm the right coach for you if I'm really resonating with you. And resonating means, do we have a similar energy? Do you like my energy? Do you like my way of approaching things? Do you like what I'm saying? Do you like what, if you're listening, or do you like what you're hearing? And it's not even, it's not like is not the word. It's, is that really connecting with you? Because the connection is what's going to be key in terms of getting the results that you want. And so I would say that that to me is the way to look at picking, or choosing what would be the right coach for you, is that. And then of course, it goes without saying, you certainly can reach out to people that may have already written a client testimonial, that you want to obtain more information about, what was their experience, with me, as, or with any other coach, but with me in particular, so that you're getting as much information as you possibly can before you enter into a relationship. So that is another, I think, really great question. And again, the dogs are barking. So another thing is one other question, and I see that Tanya, thank you. I know you're there. Sorry, I'm just responding as Tanya wrote me something and was just saying she's watching, and so thank you so much for being out there and listening. Wow, I know you're in Ireland, so thank you. And so, what are the values? What would set me apart from others in my industry? It's me. That's what sets me apart. What sets me apart from others is that I'm not like anybody else. And so, again, that kind of relates back to this question that Ruth, who was also an amazing coach, had put out there for me to include in this, which is, how would you know what the right criteria is? It also kind of ties together with this question about what sets me apart, is that I am a very unique individual, and that's what I bring to our relationship. And so I think what separates me too, and it's just because I'm so proud, is having gone through IPEC, which is the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, having gone through a very rigorous 9-month certification type program, and it's an international type of program, really has, I think, armed me well with the tools and the techniques that are the most effective in helping you get the results that you're looking for. But again, the primary thing is that what would set me apart is just, I am me. I am different from any other coach that you would have a conversation with. And again, you need to trust yourself in making a decision, if we were to enter into a actual contract, as a client contract type of a agreement. So those are all the questions that I have. Is anybody else? If there's anybody else, I'm going to give it a few minutes out there that you're listening right now. If you have another question, please put it out there. Otherwise, I can ramble on about some other things. So, anyone? I know it looks like maybe Lauren might be there. I'm not sure if she's still there, and also Ruth. But if you're there and you have another question, or Tanya, I know Tanya, you had written via Messenger. So if you're there and you have a question, by all means, ask. I'm just writing her right now. So maybe one question I would throw out there, and again, this is a little bit broader, is why coaching? Like, why did I, some of you may not know this, but, why did I choose coaching and the path of coaching? And I can tell you that for me, there was a pretty rich history before going into coaching, where I was in marketing, in corporate marketing, and basically was not feeling, I think, entirely fulfilled. And when I say fulfilled, I wouldn't say that it was aligned with maybe my overall purpose. And so through a series of conversations, through a series of research and time and meeting with certain individuals, it became more apparent to myself that coaching seemed to really resonate with me, and the idea of it, and just the overall process with a client. And so that's when I started the process of researching different programs. I found IPEC, and I can tell you that it has been an amazing experience. I get kind of emotional even talking about it, because it's allowed me to step into a whole side of myself that I was never able to step into being in that corporate American setting. And I'm not saying that you can't there's so much value wherever you are in terms of your work, but I'm saying on a deeply personal level for me, I was able to step into so much more personal leadership and just overall leadership around managing my own coaching practice. And I'm really grateful that I've had this opportunity and that I'm now practicing something that really does fill me up with a lot of joy, a lot of laughter, and then just even interacting with my fellow coaches. A lot of the coaches that I've met along this path who are on the same journey, it's a beautiful sort of community, and that everybody's there for each other and everyone's supporting one another along this path. And how many times in corporate America are you getting the full support of the people that are around you? A lot of people, from my personal experience in corporate America, a lot of people are really only looking out for themselves, or it's kind of a me, I win, and if you win, okay, but definitely I'm going to put myself first. And so a lot of coaches come into any situation trying to be open, trying to not withhold any judgment. That is the beauty of a coaching client relationship, is that it's confidential, it is non-judgmental. To begin with, it should always be, because your personal experience is what your experience is, and so there can't be any judgment. If you're judging someone else, it's more of a reflection of who you are and probably something that you would need to address than the other individual. And so everyone's experience is valid, and so that, to me, just saying that is kind of feeds my soul, because it gets at humanity. And I definitely a firm believer that every single human being on this planet has innate value, just being human. And so that's where I come from. That's what my practice is based on. And so that was another question. So I know I just have a question that came in through the comments from a good, very, very close friend and fellow coach named Lauren. And she's saying that she's overwhelmed with a project and she doesn't know how it is going to go. And so it's keeping her a little anxious. So how does she get past that? And I would say one of the biggest things that you can do if you are feeling anxious right now about something new that you are about to launch or about to go into is to stop and reflect on something that maybe you've done in the past where it's very similar, where maybe you launched something new, you did something new, you started a new relationship, you started a new job, you switched a career. But think about that experience so that it's something that actually relates to the current one that you're experiencing. So there's some similarities there. The second piece I would say is then reflect on what helped you, what personality traits, what unique skills did you have when you were going through that historical experience that made it work out, that everything ended in a way where you learned, you grew, and it was something positive. Go back to that and think about what specifically were you using, what characteristics, what traits, what personality traits got you through it. Use that and think, how can I use those same personality traits right now in my current situation so that I can move forward with the current thing that I'm feeling a bit anxious about? Because we all do this, right? You forget about your everything that you've done in life. I mean, people move to different countries, people start their own businesses, and sometimes we are so in the details every single day that we lose sight of this greater, something that we've built before, something that we've done before that we never ever thought that we would ever be able to do. And so you can go back and reflect into that space and kind of go back to that moment of what you were thinking and feeling and tap into it, so that you can take the action and the thoughts that you need forward to hopefully shine in whatever you're doing now. So that would be my response to Lauren. Thank you for asking that great question about how to kind of get past that anxiousness in a current project that you're working on. So that is it. Those are all the questions I have for today. I'm so glad that several of you were able to make this and be here. And again, if you have any questions about what you've heard, if it piques your interest, if you want to know more, like maybe you do have another question that comes up for you that you are like, wow, I would like to understand how this could be applied to whatever your personal situation is. Please, please, please just send me a private message or direct message me, or my if you want, I'll give you my email. My email is info at 2sfcoaching.com, and that's the number 2 and then F as in Frank coaching.com. Also, I want to put out there, for anyone that may be watching and seeing this on the replay, that Monday I am starting my first 10-day challenge. It's called the Clarity and Courage 10-day challenge, and it's really targeted towards LGBTQ plus professionals. This challenge is going to give you so much valuable information in terms of who you are as a leader right now and where you want to go as a leader in your career. And I'm talking your levels of satisfaction and identifying those in current leadership areas, understanding how your beliefs when it comes to work and success are either helping or perhaps hindering you. You also are going to tap into this and learn about this amazing concept called energy leadership, which I haven't covered off on right now, but energy leadership is this amazing tool that can help you better understand how you show up every single day of your life, and decide for yourself that if this is not how you want to show up and you want to be showing up differently, how through the process of coaching, how you can start to make those major shifts in your own life. I mean, no one wants to, I would hopefully, well, I shouldn't say no one, but many people don't want to continue to go through their life as a victim, right? Of always kind of looking externally from yourself to say, well, this is just what I'm stuck with, or this is, there's nothing that I could really do to change where I'm at right now. You have so much power that you have so much power within you that it's a gift that you owe to yourself to be able to explore it for yourself. And so I would just really, really, really challenge you that if you come from that place where you think that nothing can ever change in my life, things can change. I've seen it with my current clients, and I've even seen it with myself, having been coached and having a coach myself. So I'm a firm believer it works. Coaching is one of the most powerful tools that could be brought into your life to get you wherever it is that you would like to go. And so thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Oh, and if you're interested in the challenge, I am going to post the registration for that after this video in the comment section. So check it out. Any questions, again, private message me about the challenge itself, and have an amazing, amazing and beautiful Saturday. Bye.